Alright, what's going on guys? Statics here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about the XLabs client and all of the problems that the COD community is going to have to experience now as a result of the recent cease and desist filed against XLabs. So without further ado, let's get into the video. For those of you who do not know what XLabs was, it was a Call of Duty client that allowed a safer way to enjoy Modern Warfare 2, Ghost, and Advanced Warfare. The reason why this is such a bad thing, and I don't think a lot of Call of Duty players really understand this, is because now there is not much of a safe way to enjoy these older titles, as due to the fact that there is a lot of security issues with these games. There's mainly the RCE exploit, which allows any hacker to remotely install malware onto your computer. It means that there's a lot of security issues with these games, and since these are titles from like decades ago, for almost 10 years old at this point. A lot of these games are pretty old, meaning their security hasn't really been updated. There's not much being done to help out with this cause, especially not by Activision. You know, you would think with a company like Activision that's worth over $1 billion, you think that they would do something to keep the state of the game very like stable with no major issues. Well, it appears not, because I guess we've been proven that Activision really does not care about making these games playable. The only thing that they care about is making money. Because the thing with the XLabs client was that this is dedicated servers with pretty good anti-cheat. You know, I haven't really ran into hackers on IW4X, which was the Modern Warfare 2 client. When I played that, it was very fun. There was really no hackers. It was a very fun experience, just to say the least. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat or anything, but it was a lot better than having to play it like on an Xbox when you have like more frame rate, and it's just a whole better experience. But that kind of comes to a stop when there's hackers involved, and I frankly didn't see that on any of these third-party clients. Because of the fact that I didn't really have a lot of time to talk about this, I also wanted to touch on SM squared or SM2. Now, the thing with SM2 was that this game was developed by former Infinity Ward devs, if I remember correctly, and this was a separate COD game with weapons and maps from older games combined into one singular title. Now, the thing with that game and the thing with IW4X and XLabs as a whole was they both involved piracy. Now, I don't think a lot of people are really taking this into account as to why these clients have gotten taken down, but I'm about to play devil's advocate for a second, but bear with me. Now, the thing with SM squared originally, or SM2, however you want to call it, is that originally you needed to own Modern Warfare 2 to play this game. Since SM2 ran on the Modern Warfare 2 engine, it meant that as a result, you needed to own this game to be able to play SM squared. Then, when the devs realized that the Modern Warfare 2 engine that was being used to develop the game wasn't really the best move due to hardware limitations and all of that stuff, the devs moved over to the Modern Warfare Remastered engine. And since there were supporters early on that had already paid like, what, $50, $60, however much Modern Warfare 2 is on Steam, because of that, the devs had came out and said that, hey, you guys don't need to pay money for Modern Warfare Remastered. You guys are going to get rewards in-game because you supported us. You paid money just to play this game, right? And as a result, that meant the game became free to play. You would think that that's a good move, right? Because obviously most people don't really have the money to spend just to play a game, right? Well, as a result of that, that meant you were committing a crime, aka piracy. Now, it doesn't matter in what way you're doing it. Like, I'll be honest, there's definitely people that pirate like Adobe software. That's like that's different compared to pirating a game like this. Now, you gotta keep something in mind. This is old Call of Duty games, meaning that Activision is obviously making enough money from microtransactions in the new Modern Warfare 2 that they don't really need to be like caring that much about these older titles. Just because these are old games, that doesn't mean that they should not care. But it's very clear as day that Activision doesn't remotely care about these older games. In fact, they just care about preserving that IP and making sure that like nobody steals it. Especially considering the fact that if you make a Rust-inspired map on Fortnite, that's going to get taken down and it's all copyrighted and blah, blah, blah. That is a completely different video, but it kind of has to do with the whole copyright thing and what's been going down recently. Anyways, so the similar situation has also happened with XLabs because you had the option to go out and buy the copy of the game that you wanted to play. If you wanted to play Ghost, you could buy Ghost and play IW6X. If you wanted to play Advanced Warfare, you could go play S1X, and that was the Advanced Warfare client. You had the option to buy the game, or you could have chose piracy. Now, it's not the game itself that I'm pretty sure Activision cares a lot about, because they clearly don't. The problem with this piracy was that it involved you getting all of the DLC content with that. So you're not only pirating the game, you're pirating the added on content, meaning that you're pirating over like hundreds of dollars worth of in-game content. Meaning you save money, but you're also kind of committing a crime. And honestly, I really couldn't care if I pirated it. Like, this is like old games. Do you think Activision really cares that much about someone pirating Modern Warfare 2? Like really? Come on. Let's be honest. If I was a dev and I had a game from like 10 years ago, I couldn't care if someone pirated it. But that's just me, though. I can't speak for all developers on like the whole piracy thing, because it's different amongst everybody. But I'm pretty sure nobody really cares, especially if it's an old game. Like, it's not that big of a deal. No one really cares. The whole thing with taking down these modded clients is, I think I touched on this a little bit earlier, but this means that there's really no safe way to enjoy these older games because of the fact that X Labs provided a safe way to enjoy these older games, featuring dedicated servers. I think they also had anti-cheat involved with this. They had proper, there's a bunch of measures that were put into place that were going to improve the experience of these older titles. Especially with Black Ops 3, since that game started to become one of the most best-selling games on Steam. For obvious reasons. Mod support, the graphics just look good even in 2023. Like, this is an 8-year-old Call of Duty we're talking about here. And it looks better than even like a majority of the games that we have now. A lot of the games do not compare to Black Ops 3. Alongside all of these games, the Black Ops 3 client that was supposed to be releasing towards the end of the summer was also taken down as a result of this, because it had affiliation with X Labs. Black Ops 3 had a bunch of issues on PC, just like all of the other games that I had just listed. Now, a lot of people will be talking about Plutonium and what's going to happen next. Plutonium is definitely going to be the next client that gets taken down, because of the fact that while you can buy Black Ops 2, you can buy Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 1, but you're pretty much pirating the whole game. Honestly, it's not that deep. It really isn't. Black Ops 1 came out like 10 years ago. Do you think that devs really care that much about an old title? And honestly, if I think they really cared, they would just go and fix these issues themselves. But the fact that they're not doing anything to fix these titles really goes to show that they only care about getting rid of anything that could potentially stop players from going to Modern Warfare 2. Because Activision knows the potential of these third-party devs. They know that they can use their assets better than them. Face Jeff made a whole video talking about this. But the fact that third-party devs can use Activision's assets better than them is just kind of depressing. You can just see SM2 had the potential to be one of the best games ever that would have launched this year or sometime in the future. But the fact that Activision takes it down really just goes to show that it's not just about piracy. They also are just scared. Their whole ego cannot handle the fact that devs that are not even getting paid to do this, who make this game, as far as I'm aware, they're creating a game that is way better than Activision's. And I think that makes them insecure as hell, because of the fact that they know that they can't make a good game to save their lives. While I will admit that some of the newer games aren't that bad, I liked Cold War. Modern Warfare 2019 wasn't the worst game I ever played. While the maps did suck, it wasn't a bad game as a result. But I know a lot of people really did not like these newer Call of Duties. Activision just knows that they have a hard time making an actual good game. They can't even make good maps even. It's not like a case where they actually have competition or whatever. It's not like Activision went to these guys, maturely talked to them, or even have a logical conversation. No, they're just pussies and file a cease and desist, because they know that they're doing something way better than they could actually do. Keep in mind, about 1,000 devs worked on Modern Warfare 2, and it still is terrible. It is still bad. It is not fun. Most people will just say oh, you're just hopping on the bandwagon. Modern Warfare 2 isn't a bad Call of Duty game. And the thing with this is you can play whatever you want. Well, it's going to be more hard to play it now due to the fact that Activision is taking down the only safe ways to enjoy these games, whether it's piracy or not. Do you want people to be playing your games, or do you rather just let them fade into obscurity and just pretend that they don't exist? By taking down all of these third-party clients, you are making yourself look like a terrible company. Not just because of piracy, because it's the thing about this whole thing. Most people aren't even focused on the piracy, because nobody cares that it's piracy that's involved. They care because it's the only thing that will come close to being like Call of Duty, the way it was originally supposed to be. We don't have anything that is similar to the original feeling of COD. The only actual decent way you can go to play these games is on your Xbox. And I know a lot of people are not willing to just pull out an Xbox One just to go and play like Black Ops 1 or something. Like, most people would rather just do it on PC where they know they have strong hardware and they can get a really good frame rate and have a hell of a lot more enjoyable experience on such older titles. And I think just Activision cares all about money. To them, they just want to be, like, I guess, the biggest in the game, and they obviously know that they can just sell games and not really care about, like, how they go. Because, okay, maybe some bugs do get fixed, right? But the game is just still bad. They're not doing anything to actually make the game fun. Like, these devs are so out of touch with their community. They don't even know what they're doing. They put out all of these changes, and they don't even know what they're doing. They put out something new, boom, another bug gets found. Like, immediately right after, too. Like, it's not like these bugs get, like, usually addressed 9 times out of 10. These devs don't even talk to the community. They don't even interact with the community. We tell the COD devs what they can do to make the game better. There is a lot of things that they can do. You know, you can fix the servers, you can fix movement, you can make, like, I guess balancing isn't really much of the problem here. I guess some guns are OP, but I don't really hear talk about that. Maybe I'm completely just out of tune, but there is so many different things that can easily be fixed, and I know that for a fact. It's just Activision does not care. They care about just making games to make games, and there's no passion behind it. It's not like a game like GTA 5 or whatever that had hundreds of millions of dollars put into development, and they made like a really, really good game. Ever since like Black Ops 3 was the last good COD that we had. And I know a lot of people about to say Black Ops 3 was trash. You're literally just talking about the campaign. The multiplayer and zombies were amazing. Black Ops 3 was just truly one of the last like really good like arcade style Call of Duties that we had. And the fact that Call of Duty is moving more over to a tactical, more Battlefield style like shooter that makes the game less enjoyable, because people don't usually play Call of Duty to play it that serious, but the devs have to make it more complicated. And additionally, the fact that there is no competition besides X-Defiant, which that game hasn't really been talked about as much since I think they're barely just making it free to play. The beta ended like months ago, but X-Defiant is the closest thing we'll have like competition in regards to Call of Duty. And if X-Defiant takes over COD, which I highly doubt it will, considering how many COD killers have we had? We've had Battlefield 2042, which is supposed to kill Call of Duty Vanguard, which even then, I wouldn't have played either both games. I didn't buy Vanguard, I didn't buy Battlefield 2042, and I could just tell those games were dumpster fires. Vanguard, absolute trash. Battlefield 2042, it has gotten better with time, but it will still never be the game we wanted. And most devs just like, they can't even make a good game anymore, and it's honestly just kind of sad. So, Activision, if you're watching this for some reason, you gotta step up your game, you need to grow up. Like, if you're gonna be a $1 billion company, you need to at least put some effort into your games, or at least to actually hire devs that remotely care about the game, and just actually do stuff. And like, listen to the community, and you'll literally make more money. But there's something I wanted to point out really quickly to you guys. It has to do with Modern Warfare 2. So, I saw this in a video a while back ago, but I know something that I thought was really interesting. So, if you go to the Modern Warfare 2 store and you go to buy something, there will be like a section full of sales for bundles, right? So rather than paying $20 for a bundle, you can pay like 1,700 COD points, which is like $17. So you can like save money on a bundle, right? If you have a lot of COD points and you go to that same section and the same skin, there is no discount. There's no discount. You don't have to save money on that. You have to pay full price with COD points for that bundle. So obviously they just want people who don't really spend money on video games to just put in more money into the game. Now the thing with microtransactions in Call of Duty is that this is like really the only thing that they put the passion into. If you look with Vanguard, that game was terrible, but the cosmetics in that game were so good. Those are the only thing I will acknowledge Vanguard for. Vanguard had good cosmetics, but terrible gameplay. Multiplayer, trash. Campaign, I don't even know what they were doing. It made no sense. Zombies made no sense either. Zombies, there was no passion with zombies. The Vanguard had barely any passion. But the only place that the passion went to was microtransactions and these skins and all the stuff. It's so clear that COD can make really good cosmetics. And I'm not bashing them for those cosmetics, because that is literally the main selling point of COD. That's how they make their $1 billion. That's how they get their money, from microtransactions. And listen, if Modern Warfare 3 was actually like a good game, because there's a talk about it, I am not buying that next year's COD. Because I know for a fact, I can bet you my whole bank account, that this game will be absolute trash. The devs are so out of tune. They're so out of touch with their player base. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even ask the community. They don't even ask for feedback. There isn't really much communication with what they can do to make the game better. They just do whatever they want. And no matter what, they just sell a game to sell a game. There's no passion in it. There's no soul. It's just like a soulless game. It's very obvious that Call of Duty can make really good cosmetics. But the other thing with cosmetics in Modern Warfare 2 was that there's been numerous times where they just reuse cosmetics from Modern Warfare 2019 and just reskin it and put it back into the shop in Modern Warfare 2. It's very clear that there's not much like effort in these games because they just reuse assets. I'm going to retouch on the whole like SM2 thing. The fact that a whole third-party team can use Activision's assets better than them is honestly really sad. It's really good, but sad, because you would think with a $1 billion company like Activision, you would think with 1,000 devs or whatever that is working on Modern Warfare 2, you would think, maybe this game is actually pretty good. You would be incorrect. This game is still bad, regardless with 1,000 people working on a single game. 1,000 people. And there's how many studios working on this game? There's Sledgehammer, I think, that's involved. There's Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Activision Shanghai, whatever. There's nothing really be done with these games. So you can have like almost 11 studios or whatever working on Modern Warfare 2. But the game is still terrible. If this doesn't go to show how out of tune and how like mentally unhinged these Call of Duty devs are, then I don't know what else will. I know a lot of people are going to say this, but honestly, we need to boycott Activision on this. We need to talk with our wallets. And I normally don't even buy most Call of Duty games. I normally don't even spend money on the game anyways. I don't think I've ever dropped a single dime on a cosmetic. The most amount of money I will drop on COD is for just DLC. The last DLC I bought for any game was Black Ops 3, and because that DLC is good. Zombies Chronicles amazing. But they can't make actual good content anymore. Ever since Call of Duty went to the free content model, they don't even make good maps. And even if they make maps, it's just remasters. It's just like copy and paste remaster. Personally, I think these new COD should do what Black Ops 3 did. Those DLC maps were complete reskins of older maps. Empire was like almost a carbon copy of Raid, but it was with like a Greek aesthetic, and it looked good too. So it wasn't a bad thing that Black Ops 3 reused maps, but they made them exciting. They made them different, just with the same layout. And it's not a particularly bad thing, but the fact that there was really no effort being put into these DLC maps that are being added to Modern Warfare 2, it goes to show, and I'm saying this multiple times, that Activision never really cared about their game to begin with. And I'm literally, as I'm recording this video, I'm making a whole video talking about how even the beta compared to the release game of Modern Warfare 2 was like 10 times better than the game that we ended up actually getting. And that is just bad, because like the beta that we had for Modern Warfare 2, it wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty fun. The betas for most games were pretty good, and then the release game comes out and it is literally nothing like it. So Activision literally gives us a preview on what the next game could be like, but then they just don't. They don't act upon it. They just give us hope, and then they just take all of that back and be like, psych, here's your actual game. Like, here's what you're supposed to be playing, not this. Like, especially a $1 billion company. This is a $1 billion company that I'm ranting on about. And they still can't make like a proper game. You can't even fix bugs correctly. Like, this is just sad. And I've literally gone on for about 20 minutes about this. This is just sad. Like, I honestly can't believe that Activision just could not care. And especially the fact that they're taking down projects that are making these older Call of Duty titles more playable. It just goes to show that they only care about people buying the new COD and playing that rather than preserving the older titles that made Call of Duty Call of Duty. I guarantee you, if Modern Warfare 2, the original, never existed, Call of Duty would not really be as relevant as it was. With all of these older titles, this is what made Call of Duty relevant. And without that, Call of Duty would not even be a remotely good game as it was now. At the start of Call of Duty, there was no really microtransactions for skins. All you had for microtransactions was just DLC. You got maps, actually good maps. You got zombies content. If you were playing Black Ops, you got actual content. Regardless of the whole like pay-to-win model in some games like Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, and Black Ops 4, besides that pay-to-win model, microtransactions in COD weren't that bad because you're getting the good content that you're paying for. You know what you're paying for, and you're getting good content that makes your game a bit better. But now the paid content is just like skins. It's just not that good. I will be honest. If Modern Warfare 2 or any of these newer games were actually very good, I would have dropped some money on skins. Hell yeah. If the game were playable and I know that the devs are actually going to make this game good, then I wouldn't mind supporting them financially. I wouldn't mind spending $20 once in a while to get a skin. Like with Cold War, they had good cosmetics. I wouldn't have minded, at the time, I wouldn't have minded paying money for playing as Rambo. That would have been sick, right? The fact that COD does not even have a playable game, why should I support them financially if they can't even make a good game? Where is the money going to go to? To funding devs that can't even preserve the quality of the game and even make it like enjoyable for the consumer? No, I'm not going to support a company that can't even keep the longevity of a game like stable. At least I can't support devs that just let games be broken and never actually fix anything about it. I'm not gonna support a dev like that. But anyways, that's the end of this little rant. I thought I would make a video talking about this because I figured, this needs to be talked about and how this is just stupid. This is dumb. And the fact that Activision just is so out of touch with their community just blows my mind as to how ridiculous this is. And if you liked my rant and you enjoy videos like this and gaming content as a whole, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below anything I missed, because there's definitely a couple things I might have forgotten about. But please do let me know what else I missed in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Statics, and this was my rant on Call of Duty. I'm out. Peace.